بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. This is your English teacher from At Model School for Boys. Welcome back to our lessons. Inshallah, in this video, we are going to talk about lesson 4 and 5 from Unit 7. As we all know, Unit 7 is about power. More specifically, we are talking about the alternatives. Inshallah, in this video, you are going to learn about three things. The first one is about the new vocabulary of the lesson. We're going to learn about the conditional if 0, if 1, and if 2. And we are going to know the difference between strong and heavy. Strong and heavy. So let's get started. Before we start, of course, our lesson, we have some new vocabulary that you have to know. The first word that we have today is, it means, of course, in fact. I can say also actually. Actually, it's an adverb, means in fact. We always use this word to say we mean that thing, or we do that in fact, so it's called actually. It's an adverb, means in fact. The second word, of course, we have so many appliances at home that help us do the housework or do the homework and so on. If you have a computer, so it's an appliance. If you have a washing machine at home, so it is a home appliance. TV and laptops and computer sets are all home appliances. Air conditioners are home appliances, and so on. So things that help us do the housework or work in general are called appliances. If your car stops working, so you have a breakdown, a car breakdown. When your car or any device stops working, so it means you have a breakdown. And be careful, it's a one word, a compound noun. It means something is not working properly or stops working. Breakdown, it means something is not working. When we have new things from nothing, so you are generating ideas. It can be, you can generate electricity, you can generate thoughts. So it's a verb. It means to make something out of nothing, to generate. Next, if your battery lasts for a long time, it means it takes a long time working. So the meaning of last means to continue working for a long time. You can say our lesson lasts for 1 hour. You can say winter lasts for 3 months. You can say the match lasts for 90 minutes, and so on. So last means to continue on time. We are talking about the duration of something. It means last. And don't get confused between this word last as a verb and last as an adjective. When I say last week or last summer or last vacation, we are talking about the previous one, in the past. It's an adjective, but here it's a verb. It means to continue, to have a duration. Next, motoring, the process of driving a vehicle, is called motoring. And later, inshallah, we have the word motorist. The person who drives a vehicle or a car, he is called a motorist. But this one is motoring, the process of self. The last word that we have today is strong. All of you know the meaning of strong, but we have different meanings when I say strong smell, a strong wind, a strong wind that I said before, a strong storm, and so on. This, and strong man, of course, you already know the meaning. Okay. These are the words in Arabic. Take your time, write down in your notebook. You have to memorize them in order to answer the translation question. Let's have some meaningful sentences containing these words. So the first one, generate. What can I say about generate? Yes, some countries use nuclear power to generate electricity. Some countries use nuclear power to generate electricity. Appliance, electrical appliance like television, like radio, like air conditioner, laptop, computer, all these are appliances. Don't plug in an electrical appliance with wet hands. It's dangerous. You can be shocked by electricity. The breakdown of the car while driving is a difficult situation. Of course, if you are driving and you have a breakdown of the car, it's very difficult situation. Careless motoring. Careless is the opposite of careful. Careless is bad. Careful is good. Careless motoring is the main cause of car accidents. Rain is expected to last for more 5 hours this night. So we have more 5 hours, so it will last. Coffee has a strong smell that cannot be resisted. So it's the word strong. Again, the words generate, appliance, breakdown, motoring, last, and strong. Okay. Now it's time to use your your student book, page 58. We have some grammar rules, more specifically if conditionals. If sentences, we have, of course, 4 cases of if sentences, but today, inshallah, we will concentrate more on if 0, if 1, and if 2. What is the difference between the 3 cases? So let's get started. Of course, before we talk about if sentences, let's watch a video first about the first conditional if 1. Let's watch the video and we will be back.
ESL Library. First conditional. What is the conditional mood in English? We use the conditional mood for hypothetical situations. When we don't know if something will happen, we make a guess about the outcome. What is the first conditional? We use the first conditional for a possible or likely outcome. This means that if a certain condition is met, the outcome will probably happen. For example, if she studies hard, she will pass the test. If the condition of studying hard is met, it is likely that the outcome will be passing the test. The most common first conditional pattern is if plus present, will plus verb. Note that we use a comma after the if clause. For example, if it is sunny tomorrow, we will go to the beach. The if clause doesn't have to start the sentence. Another common pattern for the first conditional is will plus verb, if plus present. Note that we don't use a comma before the if clause. For example, we will go to the beach if it is sunny tomorrow. Let's take a look at some more examples of first conditional sentences in English. If he drives really fast, he will get a speeding ticket. If the students do well on the test, their teacher will let them go home early. If you miss the bus, you will be late for school. She will be tired tomorrow if she watches TV all night. The children will eat all these cookies if we don't hide them. We will be so happy if we win the game on Saturday. Look at the picture. Say or write a sentence using the first conditional. For example, If you stay out late tonight, you will regret it tomorrow morning.
As you saw in the video, the first conditional if and the zero conditional are very, very close. There's something just little difference between them. So let's get started with the zero conditional. We are talking about general conditional. In this case, we use a zero conditional to talk about something that regularly happens. Something that regularly happens. So we have two parts. In if sentences, we have two parts. We have the first part, which is if clause, it's present simple, and the other part, which is the condition, which is also present simple. So we have present simple in the first part and present simple in the second part. Let's have some examples. If you heat ice, what happens to ice if you heat it? Of course, it melts. Heat and melts. Both of them are present simple. The grass gets wet. If it rains, gets and rains. Both verbs are present simple. If it rains, the grass gets wet. I can start the sentence with if. I can put the if in the middle of the sentence, so it's okay. So this is about the zero conditional. We are talking about something that regularly happens, something which is related to science, something that never changes, and so on. This is zero conditional. Regarding the first one, the first conditional, we have a little difference, which is using will in the second part. If I find his address, I will send him an invitation. I will send him. You will get a discount if you pay now. So we have also the difference, which is using will. So if you pay, it's present simple. You will get a discount, it's in the future. If you do your best, doing your best now, you will be rewarded in the future. So there is a possibility or something is likely to happen in the future. So this is the first conditional, talking about something that is likely to happen. It's possible to happen in the future. Okay, now let's start with the first exercise. Here I am asking you to find the verbs in these examples. If you know the verbs, so you understand the rule. Find the verbs in these examples. Take your time. I'll be back in a minute. Okay. If we read the sentences together, let's start with the first one. If we continue to use, continue, is it past? No. Is it present? Yes, it's a present simple. Continue is present simple, so this is the first part. If we continue to use call at today's speed, it will last for 60 years in the future, of course. This is a possibility. This is something which is likely to happen in the future. So the verbs here, continue and will last. Continue is a present simple, will last is a future simple. Sentence number 2. Women walk over 10 kilometers if they need wood for fuel. Women walk. Walk is a present simple. Need also is a present simple. So this is a general condition. This is if zero, because both verbs are in the present simple. Sentence number 3. If we were more careful, our energy would last longer. Where? Of course, it's not present. It's not future, it's a past simple. So using past simple is in if conditional 2 or the second conditional. We use past simple and would last. Okay, so after using or after knowing the verbs, you have to complete these things so that they are true for you. Who can complete? Take your time first. I'll be back in a minute. If I feel hungry, I eat something. Of course, if you feel hungry, you eat something. This is something which is never changes. When we feel hungry, we eat. It's a zero conditional. If I feel hungry, I make a sandwich. Of course, it's a zero conditional. Okay. If I feel hungry, I eat something. If I feel hungry, I make a sandwich, and so on. Now let's move to the second conditional, or as we say, if to. But first, we have to watch a video about this one first. I'll be back in a minute.
ESL Library. Second conditional. What is the conditional mood in English? We use the conditional mood for hypothetical situations. When we don't know if something will happen, we make a guess about the outcome. What is the second conditional? We use the second conditional for an unlikely or impossible outcome. This means the outcome probably wouldn't happen because the condition can't or probably won't happen. An example of an unlikely situation is, if I won the lottery, I would buy a tropical island. Winning the lottery is a very unlikely condition, so the outcome of buying a tropical island would probably never happen. An example of an impossible situation is, if I had wings, I would fly up to the stars. Since people don't have wings, this condition is impossible, so the outcome of flying to the stars wouldn't happen. The most common second conditional pattern is if plus past, would plus verb. Don't be confused by the past verb in the if clause. We use the second conditional for a present or future situation. Note that we use a comma after the if clause. For example, if I were the leader of this country, I would make many changes. The if clause doesn't have to start the sentence. Another common pattern for the second conditional is would plus verb, if plus past. Note that we don't use a comma before the if clause. For example, I would make many changes if I were the leader of this country. Did you notice that the past form of the be verb is were? Was becomes were in the if clause of a second conditional sentence, no matter what subject pronoun or noun is used. Let's look at some more examples of second conditional sentences in English. If you became the CEO of the company, you would make a lot more money. If our teacher just gave us the answers, we wouldn't learn anything. If I lived on the moon, I would have a great view of Earth. They would have money to travel if they sold their house. We would be very surprised if a celebrity came to our small hometown. I'd stop eating junk food if my doctor told me to. Look at the picture. Say or write a sentence using the second conditional. For example, if the children ate all that candy, they would feel sick. Now you try. If I were a dog, I would sleep and eat all day long. I would spend more time with my family if I didn't work so much. She would buy me a new car if she had $1 million. If I had any musical talent, I would take piano lessons. He would surf every day if he lived near a beach.
The second condition is a little different because we don't use present simple, we use past simple. And you have to know, using the second conditional means I'm talking about something which is unlikely to happen, impossible to happen in the future. When I say if I were you, I would give up smoking. If I were you, it means I'm different one. Of course, it will never happen. If I were you, it means I am in your shoes, I'm in your place. So this is never happens because I will never be you. If I were you, I would give up smoking. If you went to bed earlier, you wouldn't be so tired. So the two parts, the first part is past simple, the second part, is would not will, huh? Would plus infinitive. We would go to the park if the weather wasn't so bad. If I had $1 million, I would buy whatever I want. If I had $1 million, I would buy whatever I want. So this is clearly about second condition. So now we have to read this short conversation, A and B, talking about the past, present, or the future, A, B. Okay, let's have a look and then answer the exercise. Yeah, if we use our cars less, we will create less pollution. Use its present simple. Will create its, of course, future simple. So this is F1, 0, or F2. Of course, it's F1. Using will means we are talking about the F1. Crude oil separates into composite parts if it is heated at high temperature. Separates using S, of course, means you are talking about present simple. It is heated, also present simple. So we have F1. If I owned a power station, I would reduce energy costs. I would, using would, it means we are talking about F2. Using would means we are using the second condition. So the first one will create future, the second one is present, and the third one is past. Okay, so I think it's clear using F1, F2, and F0, of course. Now let's talk about the difference between two adjectives. The first one is strong, the second one is heavy. Some words come with strong and some words come with heavy. Now read this, I'll complete these sentences with one of these phrases. Strong lights, heavy work, heavy traffic, strong coffee, heavy fall, strong smell, heavy fighting, and strong wind. I cannot say heavy lights. You can say strong light. I cannot say heavy smell. You have to say strong smell. I cannot say strong traffic. You should say heavy traffic, and so on. Okay, take your time. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, some people don't drink. Of course, as you can see from the picture, we have a picture of coffee. So we can say strong coffee. Some people don't drink strong coffee at night. This is a picture of traffic. Okay, this traffic is heavy or strong? Of course, heavy traffic. It took him 2 hours to drive there because of the heavy traffic. To play football at night, you need very strong lights. Lights are strong, are not heavy, of course. The boat sailed quickly because of what? Of course, because of the strong wind, My uncle broke his leg when he suffered a falling from a tree, for example, is a heavy fall, not a strong fall. There is a of curry coming from the kitchen. The smell is strong, so you can say strong smell of coffee, strong smell of fish, and so on. The newspaper reports in the Central Africa or in Central Africa. So this is about fighting, heavy fighting, not strong fighting. So you have to know the difference. Building houses, it's a heavy work or a strong work. Of course, it's a heavy work. It's like hard work. Heavy work means hard work. Thank you very much for your time. I hope you enjoyed the video. Inshallah, I see you next videos. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.